Did you know Elvis Presley had a twin brother? What happened to him, and how has he spurred fan conspiracy theories? Keep watching for the answers. The simply titled Elvis Presley biopic Elvis hits theaters June 24, 2022, which means the King is back at the center of the pop culture conversation. The film explores Presley's childhood musical influences, his meeting with the man who would become his manager, Colonel Tom Parker, and their tumultuous relationship during Presley's time of enormous fame. Countless biographies and documentaries have purported to tell Elvis's full story in the 40 years since Presley's death in 1977, so you'd think there wouldn't be that much left to tell about the erstwhile king of rock and roll. Yet he continues to captivate fans and spur curiosity about his offstage life. Presley had a close relationship with his parents, particularly his mother, Gladys Presley. In his book about the album From Elvis in Memphis, author Eric Wolfson explains that he may have loved his mother even more than any of his girlfriends, a sentiment echoed by Presley's wife, Priscilla Presley. Elvis didn't grow up in a lavish home like the Graceland mansion he eventually purchased after gaining fame. His father, Vernon Presley, worked pretty much any job he could to support his family in the 1930s. All That's Interesting quotes him as saying, "There was almost nobody poorer than my wife Gladys and me." Unfortunately, Vernon spent some time separated from the family in the late 1930s after being arrested for check forgery. He sold a hog, but the buyer underpaid him, so he changed the amount on the check. He got caught over the forgery and spent 8 months in jail. This obviously did nothing to help the Presley family's financial situation. Gladys and Elvis had to move in with relatives during those months. After Elvis was born in 1935, he and his parents regularly attended church services that included gospel music. Elvis fell in love with it. Vernon and Gladys were both supportive of Elvis's burgeoning interest in music as he grew up. Elvis was devastated when Gladys passed away in 1958 due to liver problems and hepatitis. But Vernon stayed close with Elvis throughout his career, even helping with his son's earnings and regularly spending time on tour with him.
My land joined his. I live right at his back door, so we're still together.
One lesser-known reason for Elvis Presley's close relationship with his parents had to do with his identical twin brother. Presley had a twin brother named Jesse Garon Presley, who died at birth. In Last Train to Memphis, The Rise of Elvis Presley, biographer Peter Goralnik claimed that Gladys Presley said, "When one twin died, the one that lived got all the strength of both." According to All That's Interesting, Vernon Presley said he felt that God intended for Elvis to be, quote, "the only child we'd ever need." Jesse has been the subject of fan conspiracy theories for decades. One claims that Jesse did not die at birth and was instead a body double for Elvis at various appearances. For example, in footage from a 1970 interview, fans have pointed out inconsistencies with Elvis's eye color and mannerisms to support their theory that Jesse was actually doing the interview. Conspiracy theorists also use the incorrect date on Jesse Presley's death certificate as further proof he didn't die at birth. The certificate states his date of death as January 7, 1935, though he and Elvis Presley were actually born on January 8th. The theorists believe the incorrect date is the result of a cover-up. This is hardly the only strange conspiracy theory that has followed Elvis. Just like Tupac and Michael Jackson, many fans believe that Elvis is still alive, or at least that he didn't die in 1977. There's a Facebook group with over 30,000 followers dedicated to proving this. The theory about Jesse is a common topic of discussion within the group as well. Conspiracies aside, Find a Grave reports that Jesse was buried in a shoebox next to his uncle in Tupelo, Mississippi, the Presley's hometown. In Graceland, Jesse has a cenotaph next to Elvis's grave. Their parents, Gladys and Vernon, grandmother Minnie Mae, and Elvis's grandson Benjamin are also buried at Graceland. Elvis's living relatives include his only child, Lisa Marie Presley, and her remaining children, actress Riley Keough and twins Harper and Finley Lockwood. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more grunge videos about rock royalty are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.